Did you know that Glasgow has its very own Nelson's Column? And how did a walk here lead to the Industrial Revolution? Get the full story and more on this episode of Astonishing Glasgow. We're going back to Glasgow Green this time and starting at Jocelyn Gate and the McClellan Arch. These were covered in another of my videos, so I will leave the link to that at the end of this one. For now though, we're going through the narrow opening, past the G-spot to get to our goal. Giggity. Standing at 144 feet or 44 metres tall, this is Glasgow's monument to Admiral Nelson. Nelson himself was just over 5 foot tall, so his monument is built to a ratio of nearly 30 to 1. The monument was built in 1806, only 1 year after Nelson's death on board Victory at the Battle of Trafalgar. Its construction was paid for by public subscription and was designed by Scottish architect David Hamilton, who is best known for converting the townhouse of William Cunningham into the Royal Exchange Building, which is today the Gallery of Modern Art on Queen Street. Its construction began on August 1st, 1806 and was completed the same year, making it the first monument built in honour of Admiral Nelson and a full 35 years before the more famous Nelson's Column appeared in London's Trafalgar Square. The base of the monument has Nelson's full name on the west facing side and the names of his most famous battles, Trafalgar, Copenhagen and Aboukir, on each of the other faces. I really hope I pronounced that last one right. Shortly after the monument was completed, it was hit by a bolt of lightning, an event depicted in the John Knox painting The Nelson's Monument Struck by Lightning, which is housed in the Hunterian Gallery, though there are other versions of this painting. The lightning damaged a section of stonework at the top of the obelisk, but try as I might, I could see no trace of the damage, so it must have been repaired when they were installing the lightning rod. Gee. Well, that just goes to show that there is so much history in Glasgow Green that if you're not careful, you can trip right over it. This stone was placed here in 1969 to commemorate a significant historical event that predates Nelson's Needle and the Battle of Trafalgar. It is no exaggeration to say that what happened here changed the world. In 1765, the engineer James Watt took a stroll here and had his eureka moment that led to his development of the high pressure steam engine. It cannot be overstated just how important a development this was. It accelerated the start of the Industrial Revolution, as factories no longer required water wheels for power. Mines could be dug deeper due to their more powerful water pumps, and high pressure steam was the technology that led to the development of the railways. The incredible thing is, we can walk in James Watt's very footsteps thanks to a letter he sent to Robert Hart in 1813. He wrote in the letter, "I had gone to take a walk on a fine Sabbath afternoon, early in 1765. I had entered the green by the gate at the foot of Charlotte Street and had passed the old washing house. I was thinking upon the engine at the time and had gone as far as the herd's house when the idea came to my mind that as steam was an elastic body, it would push into a vacuum, and if communication were made between the cylinder and an exhausted vessel, it would rush into it, and it might be condensed without cooling the cylinder. I had not walked further than the golf house when the whole thing was arranged in my mind." It seems to me then that a carved rock at the foot of Nelson's monument does not really reflect the importance of James Watt's link to the green, but he does make another appearance. On the opposite side of the People's Palace from the Nelson's monument, in a small garden area stands the statue of the man himself. The statue has had quite a history on its own. It originally stood over the gateway of D&J Anderson Mills, a cotton manufacturer, before being presented to Glasgow Corporation in 1936 before the factory's demolition. Having stood on the green for around 70 years, the statue was in need of major renovation, and by that point James had lost his head. Now restored and fenced off, he takes pride of place in the Winter Gardens Park, quite possibly in the very area the real James Watt would have passed that fateful Sunday in 1765. Now for one last astonishing fact about Glasgow Green, and I believe this makes it 4. If you remember back to James Watt's letter, he said, "I had not walked further than the golf house when the whole thing was arranged in my mind." Glasgow Green was the very first place golf was played in the city, and is believed to be the site of the 9th oldest golf course in the world. As far back as 1642, Glasgow University declared its approval of the sport, and by 1760, lodge being used as a clubhouse on the green was extended due to the sport's popularity. Glasgow Green continued to be used as a golf course until 1835, but as the green was common land, it was becoming overcrowded and difficult to play on, so the club moved its course to Queen's Park at the start of the 19th century. Hopefully this video has shown that Glasgow Green is more than just a place to walk your dog. You can see more about Glasgow Green's history in these videos, more about the Napoleonic War in this video, more about statues, museums, and all sorts if you check out my other videos. Hit the subscribe button to be notified when the next episode appears, and get in touch through the comments section or on my social media pages at Facebook and Instagram. Thank you to those who have supported the channel, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time in Astonishing Glasgow. I'm off for a pound of sour plums and a Fanta.